Zootopia, aka Zootropolis, hit theaters in 2016 and beat just about every record there was to break at the time. Even today, the movie is still one of the most popular Disney films. Rightly so, we believe, as Zootopia has succeeded in becoming a film that is truly for everyone, with an exciting story and enough grown-up humor. There has been speculation for a long time whether and when a second part will be released. However, things have gone quiet on this topic, so we want to look back on it for you. With the release of the Zootopia Plus series on Disney Plus, we want to deal with the subject of how realistic Zootopia 2 is, and, most importantly, what the story could look like. Before we get into that, let's recap Part 1 around Judy Hopps and Nicholas Piberius Nick Wilde. Thus, for those who have not seen it, you might want to skip ahead quickly, or even better, access your Disney Plus subscription and watch the movie now. Judy Hopps is a bunny with great ambitions, as she dreams of becoming a policewoman. And so, after graduating from high school, she sets off on her journey from Bunnyborough to Zootopia, where she joins Zootopia's police department. Quickly, she realizes that she is not accepted as a woman cop by the others. As a superior meter maid, she has to fight her way up the hierarchy when she meets Nick the Fox. The latter tricks her, causing her only to become angrier. On the verge of quitting, Mrs. Otterton seeks her help. Her husband is missing, and although Chief Bogo is not pleased, Judy has her first case. Along with Nick, she sets out to find Mr. Otterton, and it soon becomes clear that there is more behind it. They discover that many animals are missing, all of them predators, and most importantly, that they have gone berserk, or rather, extremely aggressive. During their investigations, they find out that Mayor Leodore Lionheart has had the animals trapped and imprisoned, but merely to find out what is wrong with them, as he claims. Nonetheless, he has to vacate his post, and the second mayor, Dawn Bellwether, the sheep, assumes the position on his behalf. Now the ambiance turns towards the predators in town, and the animals have to deal with fear. However, Judy and Nick find out that Bellwether is to blame for everything, as she holds a grudge against the carnivores and thus intended to get rid of them. Together they manage to foil her plan, and Nick ends up joining the ZDP himself. Unfortunately, we don't know anything about the exact plot yet, but there are some rumors floating around about the second part of Zootopia, and also the online community has some ideas. Besides, it can be said that the social topics addressed in the first part alone can be further expanded. In an interview with Cinema Blend, Nick's voice actor Jason Bateman already revealed that the two of them will tidy up the streets as partners. There are some new cops out there, he added. So bad guys, be warned. Thus, it is evident who will be in the thick of the action once again, Judy and Nick. We also hope that the two partners will finally make it to the areas of Zootopia that haven't been shown yet. Although we are told at the beginning of the film that Zootopia is a huge city, we only get to see downtown, Rainforest District, and Tundra Town in the course of the first movie. Yet there are many more urban areas to explore, like the Canal District, Canyonland, Marshlands, Meadowlands, Polar Strait, and Sahara Square. However, the capital city is not the one that should be of interest for the upcoming storyline. We actually do not know anything yet about the planet, or the continent in which the movie takes place. Sure, there were a couple of scenes in Bunnyborough, but that's it. There is still an entire world to discover. Besides, so far only mammals have been featured in Part 1. What about other species, like fish, reptiles, and insects? In case these creatures really exist, the second film could deal with the question of why they were excluded from Zootopia, and re-examine the topic of xenophobia. But not only as official partners at the ZDP, as there seems to be something else going on between the two of them. After all, the first part ends with Nick claiming that Judy knows she has a crush on him, which she confirms. So, pretty much everyone agrees that there'll be some kind of love story developing around the two of them. Who knows? This might even be something special in Zootopia. So far, we know that only animals of the same breed have ever become a couple. And here, we are actually talking about two hostile species. Nowadays, this would of course strike a chord again if the movie addressed topics such as free love and different sexualities. In general, they could take up the topic of gender one more time and explore it in more depth. Judy is the only bunny working for the police, and besides Officer Francine, the elephant, she is also the only female who seems to be working for the authorities. In general, most of the animals we encounter are male. Besides her and Francine, we only see the star singer Gazelle, the concerned Mrs. Otterton, Mafia heiress Frou Frou, and Dawn Bellwether. This could be a neat transition to sexism in society. We are informed in the first movie that little mammals cannot join the Zootopia Police Department due to their size and power. That was all history, because Judy does join the ZDP. However, there is a far more sinister influence at work. It is believed that the Vole Mafia dominates the police force. The idea supports this allegation by claiming that the strong criminal gang penetrated the ZDP's higher-ups and push them to outlaw pint-sized officers. As a result, there is no agency small enough just to police the voles, allowing their illegal operation to continue for the foreseeable future. Though this relationship may be altering now that Judy has encountered Mr. Big, but if proven correct, this can bring a significant amount of attention to the sequel. This theory would revolve around exploring the illegal operations being carried in the dark in Zootopia, the vole politics, and the expertise of Judy and Nick in capturing the Mafia people. Who does not absolutely love a crime mafia situation? A somewhat sensitive topic could be that of class society. At first glance, everything in Zootopia seems to look like love, peace, and harmony. Yet, just by looking at Nick and his accomplice at the beginning of the film, it seems that there are animals who have to earn their money in a shady way in the city of endless opportunities. And so, there is, for instance, also a mafia in Zootopia. A story about this would be particularly suitable for Nick in his old life. After all, until he met Judy, he was not really doing any honest work. You say the gap between rich and poor might be too severe for an animated film? Well, then don't forget one of the core messages of the first film. In an amusing way, it shows how racism is a fear that is promoted by those in power. Therefore, the next part could well try its luck with other serious topics. What most of you probably do not know is that Zootopia was originally intended to be a spy movie, where a spy arrives on a mysterious island in a world full of mammals. Perhaps it could be a storyline for the sequel. And why not? It's not cast in stone that Nick and Judy have to stay with the ZDP forever. Especially Nick could be well pictured in the role of a secret agent. The second part could easily revert from a buddy cop comedy to the originally envisioned spy genre. Okay, this theory is too dark for a Disney movie, but still very interesting, so we wanted to share it with you. The elegance and peace and tranquility of Zootopia is that prey and predator coexist peacefully, with the former never having to fear being killed and eaten by the latter. Unfortunately, this arrangement may have catastrophically unintended consequences in this case. This idea concentrates on a serious population problem or a horrifying government-run breeding program. In Zootopia, Judy Hopps confronts her folks about possessing 275 siblings, which is a big number. Many of these innocent brother and sister bunnies would undoubtedly perish if predators could continue to pursue prey. But in Zootopia, they will live a peaceful life, yet unknowingly culminating in massive overcrowding and food shortage. The one and only method for avoiding this is for the administration to exert control over its citizens. Without becoming too gruesome, this theory entails a large number of animals getting transferred to a ranch to be sacrificed. Fans will be riveted to their screens if the movie concentrates on this frightening idea, but at the same time, this idea will capture how a peaceful and all-inclusive place like Zootopia can have dark secrets and dirty politics as well, just like the real world. So now we have heard a few possibilities of how the plot could go on, but what does the fan community on Reddit actually say? There, one theory has prevailed, namely that we will meet Nick's father in the course of the film, and the latter will be arrested by Judy. When the interrogation reveals who it is, Nick falls back into his old behavior patterns. The rest of the movie will then delve into Nick and his father's past and find answers as to why he abandoned him before he was even born. In general, fans on Reddit are crying out to know more about the sly fox. But when is Zootopia 2 coming? Opinions differ on this, because Disney has not even officially confirmed a second part. Some years ago, they probably would not have even thought of making a sequel, but since Wreck-It Ralph and Frozen, they are considering a theatrical sequel. Looking at the numbers, this would only be natural, as Zootopia was one of the most successful movies from the Disney animation studios in the last 10 years. Anyways, with the recent schedule updates from Disney's animation slate, it is safe to say that Zootopia 2 will not be hitting theaters before the end of 2024. As soon as we know more, you will of course be notified in our weekly news. Well, here we go. Those were all the theories about the second part of Zootopia. Which idea do you think is the best so far? And do you have any other suggestions on how it could continue? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give us a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss any more of our videos, you might want to subscribe to us. See you next time.